morning. This is English 8 for April the 2nd. Open up your grammar book to page 207. We left off last night with you doing 4 through 8, I think, as homework in exercise A as well as exercise B. And I'll tell you how we're going to check exercise B in a little bit. But look at exercise A, number 4. Isaac signed up Thursday to do his presentation. What's in the wrong place? Thursday. Did Isaac sign up on Thursday or did he want to do the presentation on Thursday? Well, to make that clear, we either need to move Thursday to the front, describing Isaac. Thursday, Isaac signed up, or put it at the end by presentation to do his presentation Thursday. We need to know which one he did. Okay? Riley was a snake on his way to school. Riley saw a snake on his way to school. On his way to school was Riley, and that's not the snake. No snakes in school. So on his way to school must go at the beginning of our sentence. Kylie said next week she was going to her grandparents' house. Did she say that next week or she's doing it next week? Well, she can't speak in the future. So next week needs to go at the end of our sentence. Draw an arrow to after house. I heard that there had been a hurricane in the news. Well, there's not a hurricane in the news. There's news about a hurricane possibly. So in the news is in the wrong place. It doesn't describe the hurricane. It either needs to go in front of the word I, in the news, I heard, or it needs to go after the word heard. I heard in the news, okay? But in the news needs to go much closer to the word heard. Georgia saw a kangaroo using her pass to tour the Australian exhibit at the zoo. Though that sounds quite hilarious, that's not what happened. The kangaroo did not have a pass. So we need to take that whole thing. Using her pass to tour the Australian exhibit at the zoo needs to go at the beginning of the sentence because it's describing Georgia saw this kangaroo. The kangaroo did not use the pass, Georgia did. Okay, let's look at page 208. Page 208, we're talking about adverbs. Adverbs not only describe a verb, an adjective, or an adverb, but they have to be written a certain way. Okay, if I say Angel is tall, that is a statement. I'm not comparing Angel to anything. I'm just saying a fact. Okay, I might say Isabella is giggly. Just a fact. She's giggly. Okay, that's what we call a positive statement. It's just a statement. It is what it is. Okay, now if I want to compare, let's say I'm going to compare Angel to Freddie. Okay, Angel is tall than Freddie. Angel is taller than Freddie. Angel is tallest than Freddie. Well, I'm only comparing two. When you compare two people or two things, when you're using a comparative, this means you're using two. No more than two. This is positive, one. You're making a statement about one person, one thing. In a comparative, you're comparing two things or two people. But what happens if I want to compare Angel to the entire group of 8th grade boys? Okay, now I'm going to say Angel is the what? He's the tallest of the 8th grade boys. Now, I don't even know if that's a true statement, Angel. I don't know if you're the tallest, okay? But I do know this, that if I make it a statement about one, it's a positive. If I'm talking about two people or two things, I'm talking about a comparative. If I'm talking about three or more, then I'm using what we call the superlative. The superlative. Most of the time, when you are comparing and you have a comparison of just two, you have a comparative, you're going to use ER. ER. Or, notice I said the word or, we can use the word more. Okay? If you're talking about 3 or more, then we're going to use EST, or we're going to use the word most. Now, if I say something along the lines of, Nikki took the math test how? She took it fast. Okay? Nikki is not being compared to anyone. I'm just making a statement about her. Nikki took the math test fast. Okay? I might say, if I want to compare Nikki to Melissa, I'm going to say that Melissa took the math test how? She took it faster. She took it faster. Nikki took the test fast. Melissa took the test faster. Okay? And I might say that Timo took it the fastest. By the way, being fast is not always best. Okay? No, not there on Timo. Just take your time. Do your best. Okay? If I'm going to compare 2 words and that 2 objects, and the adverb I'm going to use is 2 or more syllables, then I'm usually going to use the word more and then that adverb, or most and that adverb if I'm using a superlative. Let's look at our box of irregular adverbs. It says positive, comparative, and superlative. These are a few that you need to memorize. Most of them, honestly, by the time you're in 8th grade are kind of common sense. But because English is not your first language, some of them might sound a little strange to you. To me, they don't, but English is my first and only language, okay? Well, better, best, much, more, most, badly, worse, worst, little, less, least, far, farther, farthest. Now, remember, comparative is how many things? 2. Superlative is 3 or more. Let's look at our sentences. Grace knows blank about fishing than I do. We're going to use the word little. Apparently, we don't know much about it. Okay? So there's only, we're comparing 2 people, you and Grace. So Grace knows less about fishing than I do. Of all the students, Sophia and David worked how? All of the students, so they worked most carefully. Most carefully. The early Christian martyrs behaved how? They behaved, we're just making a statement, honorably. Honorably. Because it was Christmas, the children rose how? Earlier than usual. John lives closer to the school than Noah does. Of the 3 candidates, his views align how? Most closely with mine. As the pain lessened, Kelsey began to move. We're using the word much, more or most. She began to move more freely. I did how on the test? You did well. Remember, well is an adverb. Good is an adjective. That is a good book. He reads well. Okay? Of the 2 swimmers, Jake swam blank in 3 minutes. He swam farther. Julia felt blank than her brother. Okay, some form of badly, we're going to say she felt how? She felt worse than her brother. Okay, today online, I want you to make sure that you think about the words. Don't just rush through. Guys, you've done very well on your English online. The thing that I'm seeing is some of these I know you know, but you're just clicking real quickly, or you're not being super careful, checking, making sure that what you thought you highlighted as the answer is what you've actually done. So just be real attentive before you submit, and let me remind you, submit it only once, okay? Grade only counts one time, all right? So make sure that you submit, make sure that you've paid attention to it. I miss you. Have a good day.